Chess.com. Welcome to the final title Tuesday of the month. We have some title players as usual from India, and we'll be focusing on them. I see NR Visak in the list, the very beginning. So I think it's now time to pin the message. So I'll also start following the games. So we have NR Visak playing, and then yeah, I think I mentioned most of the names on Twitter. And then we have Suyog Wag, is a FIDE master from Maharashtra, a strong blitz player, and we have Gahan MG. I got Suyog's name right. No, it's wrong. Okay, it's Sugu28. That's his username. Okay. We have Srishti Pandey also playing. We have Samarth Rao. We have Sahil also playing. We have Sekar V. And we have Senthil Maran, FIDE Master. We have Omkar Kadav. And I think we have Ojeswa. I'm seeing him for the first time. Maybe he has played in the other Title Tuesdays as well. We have Mrudul Dehankar also playing. Yeah, so let me get that name. Okay. Do let me know if I have missed any names. Crazy Martian is Sahil. Okay, we are following him. Then we have Ojeswa. Okay. Okay, I think that's about it. We have Samarth also. We have Deepan Chakravarti's sister also playing tonight. So we are starting in about less than a minute from now. You let me know if the music is okay. Everything is okay. Hi Amay. Hi Edufan Chess. Thank you. Prakash Kumar, I will let you know who is playing. I will talk to pieces definitely. Hi Alert. कोई बड़ा player है? I will let you know. No Prakash Kumar, I don't think so. Chess is a very competitive game and anything can happen in chess. So sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. Alright, so I think I will pin the message. I'll just type these messages. Yeah, and then I'll pin this. I think I covered most of them. Let's say Dushyant and who else? Ojeswa. Okay, done. I think I'll pin this message for now and I will get going. I'm playing against Chess Warrior and I've also lost about 30 seconds already. Okay. Need to be quick with this one. Chess Warrior, a very famous name on chess.com. You will also see sometimes that he'll be in top 3. Okay, I'm employing the Catalan. Going to play knight e3, I think, very soon. Knight e3, and I will support this pawn first. It's very important to support this before I go knight e5. h6. Should I take or should I wait? I think I'll take and then play knight e5, attacking this. I'm actually threatening to go knight c6 and ab5. Queen c7 is possible, but I have ab5. So yeah, it's not easy for my opponent to find a move. I think he will take this, and then queen b6. Then I might play rook. I might play b5. Okay, so this is the move he has chosen. Ultimately, knight c6, knight c6, bishop c6, b4, ab5, cb5. I think I will take this and take this. Knight c4, he wants to go rook c7. I think I'll first go knight b5. Bishop b5, I have ab5, no problem. And once he moves the rook, I will take the pawn on c4. This is looking good so far. So from the list that I think I just missed Sekhar's name, who is also playing. Sekhar B is from Tamil Nadu. I did not see Nubair's name, he might not be playing. Queen b6, so he's giving an exchange sack. I think it's a practical decision. Knight e7, okay. I'll go e3 or bishop b5. What should I do? Bishop b5, he might go rook c8. I think I'll go e3. b3, cb3 is coming, but he might play b3 anyway. I'll have to go bishop f1 to take care of this pawn. g6, I'll go h4, queen e4, okay, king h2, he wants to go bishop b7. Okay, I welcome that. Oh, he took the pawn. That I wasn't expecting. Okay, let's go e4. Now threatening b3. Okay, it's a small trap. I mean, I don't win anything, but it's good to keep the pieces under pin. That's the point. But he has seen it. He has seen the trick. Rook c3, okay, rook c3, e5. Bishop b4. Okay, time to go d5. Somehow I've taken care of this square, so it's useful. Can I go e6? He wants to go. He wants to go rook. He wants to go c2, huh? Yeah, it's very, very precise, the move he played. He wants to go c2. I don't know, rook a1. What is the move? Am I taking this bishop? Bishop b4. I might go queen d4. Let's see. I'm an exchange up. Still nothing is clear. I think I'll just play king h2. Wait for a moment and then see. e6. Can I go e6? King g2, c2, rook c1. Okay. If you go c2, I have rook c1. e6, queen e6. Okay, let me go queen f3, keeping an eye on this one. Rook d1, c2, rook d7, king g7. It's not clear. Queen b7, a4, it goes ec2, then e6. Not much can be gathered out of that. Okay, let's go rook d1. Queen e6, that means I have scared him a little bit, but it's not enough. I don't know what's going to happen. F1 queen. Oh, that was close. Maybe I could have changed something here, but evaluation wise I don't know if I was anyway close to equal, because it was always like he was pushing. So on this other side we see Srishti winning against a grandmaster 2-6-2-3 using the bishop d3 system against the King's Indian, which you have seen me use quite a lot in Title Tuesday. Okay. With it, I'm not sure. With it, I don't see Vidit's name. I see Vidit's name. So let's follow with it. So he's probably not streaming, but we also have SL Narayanan playing. So those are the two strong GMs playing, and yeah, there's also RR Lakshman, who's just joined. Alright, so let's look at the results. We see Anavisak, who has won his game, and then we have Sahil, who has lost, Gahan has lost his round, then Ojaswa has lost, Sekhar has lost. So a lot of results which were actually favoring the opponents, not the Indian players. Okay, I'm now playing against Women FIDE Master Black Pawn. Vidit is playing against Kildeo Piotr. SL is playing against, and I am from Georgia. Yeah, so I'll just edit the main point. So Gahan, we have Vidit, and we have SL Narayanan playing. Okay, so I've just printed a new message. Alright, let's go. Black pawn 16. Knight d2. Knight d2. It's a rare system, but I think it comes to Collie system ultimately. So f4 is what I am expecting my opponent to do. Yeah. This knight will come to f5. That's the plan. You see, this knight will come to f5. But my opponent has clearly seen the idea. f6, g6 are those moves which I will have to make eventually. Yeah, Vidit is playing against a ready system. SL is playing the ready system himself. Then we see Samarth is playing against a national master. His opponent has knight g4 and bishop h2 looks very dangerous. Okay, now this knight is trapped. So this knight has nowhere to go. Not sure what my opponent would be thinking about now. Okay, Gahan is here. So Srishti has won the first round, and she's probably one of those Indians who has won. Yeah, in addition to SL and Vidit. Okay, so let's stick with my game for a while. So the knight is trapped. Fe5, my opponent wants to go Fe5 and then eventually threaten a mate. So I'm seeing if I can actually do something about it. Okay, let's go knight g7 first, because I can take this knight on the next move as well, or I can just give the pawn. Still okay. The reason I did not take it because white will take Fe5 first and then play knight g5, and my rook was slightly not so coordinated, so I had to move knight d7. Now the rook is in touch with the queen, so now things are okay, and I think I can finally take. Yeah, so now I can, I think, actually take this. D5, this I wasn't expecting. So my opponent wants to go knight g5 again. Do I have a response against it? I think so. I can go rook f7 and knight f5. Or I can go knight f5 directly. But if I go directly, that means the sacrifice has worked for my opponent. d4, knight g5 is coming by force. So I will have to play knight f5. That's a sad necessity. Okay, so this way I have managed to protect the pawn on h7. Rook f3. I want to push this knight away. So I'm threatening bishop g5. Very straightforward. Okay. d4. Asking a question to this rook. Of course, my opponent can't take this so easily, so I think I will first take this and then take the pawn on e4, then take the pawn on c3. I'm now threatening queen d1. Take the pawn on b2. Pawn is going to promote to a queen. Okay, I first support this, and now I will go with my queen. Yeah, this is a check I am threatening. Okay, so there you go. I registered my first win. So let's go to other games. Vidit has won the game. Knight x f3. Wow, look at this, king on f2. And we have SL Narayanan, who is many pawns up and has won the game as well. NR Visak is having 2 pawns. I think should be enough for him to win this one. Lakshman has lost, and we have Srishti Pandey, who is an exchange down right now. And yeah, rook c8 is coming. Gahan, is black here? He has a bishop for a rook and may not be so easy for white to crack this one, I think. Black will just keep the king, and if this king comes to f5, then black has to be ready to play g3 and g2. So he still has some work to do. Hi Shrest, Shubham Sharma. I don't get your reference. Who is trolling? Vidit isn't streaming. Okay. Aryan Arya is right. Do like the stream. Okay. I think rook b6. You can't go for rook b6. Obviously can't go for rook b6 because g1 queen. Alright, so this is going to end in a draw, I think, because black will play bishop f5 and then take the pawn, and I'm sure Gan knows the drawing route. You have to go with your king on the edge, on the dark square, so that you don't match the color of your own bishop. Take the pawn, bring the king, and it's a draw. Yeah, he knows it, he knows it. But I think it's a good test to all of you to see if you would handle a draw here, if you would be able to make a draw here. So there are still some do's and don'ts in this endgame. It's not so easy. The point is that eventually you will create a situation in which you stalemate your own self. Yeah, but this should end in a draw. Yeah, he's doing it well. He has played all the precise moves and he's still in the center, so I think it will eventually end in a draw by 50 moves without captures. King c5 and then bishop c4. Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be a draw. So Gahan knows this endgame. King b4. I think it's a very important thing if you are like going to play in a norm tournament, and let's say in any open event, you might learn. I mean, it will be useful to learn this theoretical endgame: rook versus bishop, rook versus knight, and also how to draw when you are pawn down in rook endgames, and how to win when you are pawn up in rook endgames. Bishop a4 and rook a7. Just when I'd say that he had learned how to draw. But how did it change? Let's see. There must be one error which he actually was going into the right corner, but where did the things change? Oh, the next game is up. Can't see much. Vidit is playing against Alexander Kostyunik. I think this is a game that we will definitely keep an eye on. c4. Okay. b3. Knight c3. I think I'll go d5. cd knight d, bishop b4, e3. With this pawn here, I can't really play c5, I think. Or maybe I can. I'm thinking of going to d5, but I'm threatening d4. Will my opponent see it? I think my opponent will see it. Knight c6. Okay, let's go bishop d7. d4, I just take and put bishop on b4. Let's see. That seems slightly unnecessary. I think I can take with this, but I will take with bishop. Queen d6, question the knight. Now I'm going to develop my castle and keep it simple. Okay, let's take a quick look at this game. Vidit has not castled, and is that a sign for me to not castle? No, I think in this position it's different because nothing is happening in the center. Yeah, he has castled now. Probably is listening to me. After bishop e7, yeah. Castling is what I would do next. Indian lad. Oh, knight b5. Must go queen b8. Can't go queen e6 because of the fork. Okay, so now he's played rook d2. I think he wants to push this bishop away and then double the rook and go here. Okay, let's go. I think I'll go a4, but not anymore. Okay. So, what's the situation here? Is the pawn structure favoring me? I don't know. Maybe not. Queen d3. Can I go d4? No, but that will ruin my c4 square. Can I go queen a7, queen a6? I think so. Now I'll go queen a6 and ask my opponent to trade queens. He's not made any tactical errors so far. National master from the US. I think my next chance is rook b8, but yeah, he's listening. He has seen everything. My idea was to play rook b8 and c4, but now that's tie fish. Okay, what do I do? I need to do something about this pawn. So this is how I'm protecting it. Manually. He's going to put another pressure here. So I'm saying, okay, I'm ready. I'm ready to support this again. So I think eventually he will also put his bishop to a3. Knight c5, knight c5, it's going to be a lot of mess. Yeah, he's going to do that. Can't do much about it. Take everything, play king d7 and survive this lost rook endgame. Okay. Oh, they have already reached endgame. Yeah, I got my break. This was very important, I think. My opponent did not. But now he has rook a5. Very precise. Opponent is being very precise. Oh, that's a blunder. But he did not notice. Okay. So he's going to play a5. That's his plan. I'm saying okay. King c6. Okay, so he's won too many pawns. Very precise play. He's playing like a GM. Endgame pro, my opponent. I have not seen him make even a slightest error. It's amazing technique. Rook p5, rook c5. Wow. I think king d6 should be game over. Then king e8. Oh, I can't even take that. That was a terrible game. I mean, from my end. Okay. So here we have Vidit, who has a very good position thanks to this h7 pawn. He's winning, obviously. This is winning. He will eventually take this, and this bishop has a lot of scope, so I feel that he's going to win. Gahan MG is again extreme down in this game, but look at his ratings, just 2700. Wow, that's amazing. And now he has 2 bishops for a rook and 3 seconds on this clock. Both the players, they seem to have a lot of experience in this time control. Look at the speed of their game. How did this game end in a draw? Because black has king, nothing else, but he had time. Oh, Gahananji, this is... Oh, I thought this is Title Tuesday. Sorry, this was not Title Tuesday. Alright. Okay, so this is one game that's going on where Sahil is black and yeah, it's going to be mate. Alright, so he has scored half in the event so far. Mrudul Dehankar has lost. Samarth has won. Okay, and Vidit has won that game. Great. Okay, deep GP goat. Let's go d4. I'm going to put Nimzo Indian bishop d2 system. Let's see if my opponent knows it. It's going good so far. Alright, d5, knight c3, rook c3, knight e1, rook h6, f3, queen h4, knight d2, queen, knight d2, rook h6. Okay. What can I do? This is unusual. The rook is coming to h6, queen is coming to h4 if I move this knight. So shall I play bishop e1, rook h6, knight d2, queen h4, h3? But that looks meek. It's too passive for my style. Okay, this is the first time in tonight's style Tuesday I'm taking so long for a move because rook h6 is coming and queen h4 is coming. Bishop e4, fe4. Okay, I'll take this and then go knight d2. Alright, d5, rook h6, e4. Let's go f3. On rook h6 I have queen e1. Rook g6. No problem, queen e2. Okay, I think now I'm good. So that was an escape, I would say. A theoretical escape. I escaped his theoretical battle. For a moment it looked really scary. Now he's going to play rook h6. Okay, and he wants to attack this. What do I have? I have passive defense here. It's not much I can do. So yeah, this is how I have decided to defend this pawn. Let's bring this rook here. Now what is it going to do? Okay, king h1. It's really scary, this position. It's like anything can happen anytime. Knight f6 is coming with his knight to g4. He wants to go knight f4. Queen d1 seems necessary. King h1. Rook h6. Oh, knight h3 is threatened. Rook d2 is forced. It's a lot of pressure. Okay. Knight h3. Rook f3. Bad. This is a puzzle rush tactic. This is called support through the enemy. Okay. Let's go the big boss 04. Haven't heard his name. Big boss 04. We have a similar scene here, something what happened in my case. Queen h5 and rook f6 might happen here as well. Knight g3. Okay, just go rook f8 is what I feel. Here we see Srishti is white. Knight 8, bishop g2, king g2, rook 8. Still some compensation. Okay, let's go to Indian lad. SL Narayanan is playing against Ivan Popovic probably. And after rook 8, his opponent is threatening av4. Of course, he is seeing it and he's trying to see what he could do. Maybe rook b1, maybe ba5. Two options, but not sure which one is likely to work. He goes for b5 and then goes rook b1. No, he goes rook c1. b4 he takes. No. I think he has just accepted to be in a worse position and have some practical chances. Okay. Let's see what's happening in the chat. Who is Sharp Chess? I'm not sure. Super Chess. Is Super Chess playing this title Tuesday? Aradhya Garg is playing. Wow, that's one player we haven't followed yet. Aradhya 2000. Okay. So we'll be keeping an eye on his games in the future. Crazy Martian. Sahil Tiku is playing. Yes, we just watched his game. This is his game. He is having an equal position. Opponent had set a trap here with knight e3. So both the rooks are on the 7th rank. So b3, the idea was to play knight d2. I think black will put his knight to b3 or b5 to attack d4. This move I'm not sure. Now knight c3, knight d2, but yeah, I think this is going to be ending in a draw soon. Yeah, this is going to end in a draw. Vidit is black here and is about to win this, I think, because the pawns are just too far away, and I think it's easy. Great, so Vidit has won, his opponent lost some time, but the position also I think is very much in his favor. And after this round we have a long gap. We have a break of 6 minutes. Yeah, 6-minute break. We have Women International Masters Savita also playing in this title Tuesday. Okay, I just noticed. Yeah, Vidit is 4/4. Yeah, Indian is not playing, you're right. So let's look at Vidit's win actually. I want to see how he won this game. So Vidit employed the Nimzo Indian, and then after queen c2 he played castle. And a fact here is that Vidit himself used to play queen c2 with the white side. I've seen his games. And then put his knight to d7, put his knight to e4, got f5, and then after knight g5 his opponent played d5, ed5 and castles, tc4, queen c4, rook f7. But I'm wondering what happens on king h8. This was also very much possible, but due to some reason king h8. But I'm really interested here that after d5, e takes d5, what happens on c takes c5? What did Vidit have in mind? Bishop takes d5. I think this is possible to play, but maybe I'm not sure about the specific details, but to my eyes it looks possible. After takes rook f7, knight e5, c5. So he's basically a pawn up. 7 pawns versus 6. So c5 was a mistake. So let me get the evaluation bar. Yeah, I think now the evaluation bar is working. c5, knight takes f5. So maybe instead of c5, is there anything else? White is threatening to play f4. See both the knights. We can call them the Judwa knights. But the knights are in trouble in a way. So he played c5, and after knight takes f5 he played knight d4. Now he's threatening to go knight d2, and so his opponent has played rook a d1. Okay, till here we understand stuff. He plays queen g5, attacking the pawn, by keeping an eye on this and actually attacking f5. So this knight goes back. And then Vidit takes knight, and after h g3 he plays rook d8. So he sees that the pawn is supported, so he simply plays rook d8. Maybe the last few moves, he probably played the moves that seemed obvious. Objectively, the position is very much in white's favor, I feel here. But engine feels white is slightly better. I feel white is okay. It's good. Rook d2, c4. Okay. Bishop takes c4, knight c4, queen c4, d5. So this is an opposite colored bishop position. White is a pawn up, but he still has some work to do. I think the pieces should come into picture. The rook has come. Rook has come to c5. Oh, this I'm not sure, because I think white should play on the queen side and exchange pieces, go rook c2, rook c7. But g4 is like playing on the side where your opponent is more likely to do stuff. a6, f3. Okay, so this is what I think went wrong after h5. So this is called a hook. So he got h5, queen h5, e4. Instead of e4, what can white do? Black is threatening something? No, black isn't threatening anything. This is a long-term threat. Rook f6, rook g6. Maybe this move, idea this. He goes e4. And then queen g6. I am not sure why the evaluation bar has dropped. To me it looked like, okay, it's just another move to capture this next, because de4 is not possible. But after queen g6, the engine is liking black's position. Let us try to understand why. Let's see. Okay, rook takes f3. That's his idea. Oh, if e d5, there is rook takes f3. Alright, so let's say he played e d5, okay. But let's say I move the king to f1. What happens then? There is de4. Oh, suddenly everything is in control and very much favors black in the position. So he has no option to play king f1. If he plays king h2, I think this simply repetition. It's not what white would want to do. So e d5 happened, rook f3. Now black is threatening rook f1. So rook c1 happened. Then he played rook f5. Now he's attacking this. If he moves d6, black's bishop would be very happy. So Vidit plays rook e1. Bishop takes d5. Idea rook g5. Queen h4. Okay. Rook h5 or rook f4. Maybe rook h5 is also good. Or rook g5. So he goes rook f4 attacking the queen. Now he's threatening rook f1 check. Queen c3. Why is this a blunder? Let's try to see. Okay, rook f1, rook f1, rook f1, king h2. Queen d6. Oh, queen d6 was the point. Alright. The next round has begun. I'm playing against Irish chess man. And Vidit is playing against Sanan Sujirov. Here we see another Reti. And then h3. Okay. Castles. e5 might happen. He goes c6. I think d3 or d4, there are two approaches. He goes for d3. Okay. My opponent is still not making a move. So this gives me a chance to see this game. Sanan versus Vidit. So queen e1 is played so that white queen can indulge in supporting the pawn on e4. This knight could come to d2, b3, bishop b2. Basic Reti. So for those of you who don't know, this opening is named after Richard Reti, and the funny story is that Richard Reti was also part of a film in Russia. So they made a silent Russian film and he did a cameo in that movie. And Richard Reti was the first person in the chess field to set a record for simultaneous blindfold chess with 29 games. And of course he has also written two amazing books. I have read a few pages of the other book. The first book is Modern Ideas in Chess and the second one is Masters of the Chessboard. So In addition to being a very good chess player and a chess writer, he's also a very good chess composer. So he has composed a lot of positions in endgames, and of course we have this beautiful opening by him. My game, my opponent has not made the move. Irish chessman. Seems like he got disconnected. So let's come back to Vidit's game. Where is Vidit? Oh, where was I? Yeah, it's here. Okay. I think Vidit will play c4 here. Because knight b4 is not coming. Thanks to bishop and queen, it's controlled. Okay. I think rook e1 will come pawn f4 very soon. White has a beautiful position based on the fact that white has double bishops. And I think a pawn break might soon come. Also d4 pawn break, but I'm slightly concerned about e4. f6 is really trying hard to blunt this bishop. f4, the break finally comes. I think he might play fe5. So I have officially won my game because my opponent did not show up, as you can see. Alright, let's go. Queen f4, gf4. I think he can also take with the rook because the bishop is protecting the rook. But he decides to go with the g pawn, and I'm really curious what happens to this endgame after rook e8. I think these are such positions that you can actually play against a computer or a friend to understand the intricacies of bishop knight versus bishop bishop. I have had good experience playing with the double bishops, and I've almost always converted the advantage into a win. Now a5, knight d5, bishop d2 seems natural to me. Black would be looking to exchange this bishop, I think. But he goes for b3. Yeah. I think the last move was not really a move that I would play in the game. I think I would go a5. But maybe Vidit feels that he can still play with this bishop versus knight endgame. King g2, I think the king will go to f3, rook will go to d1. e5. I would play e5. But he goes rook e2. He wants to double and then go e5. I think the advantage is not as big as it was a few moves earlier. It's going to take some time. Let's go to Aradhya Garg. I think he was also in a good position. He's 3 out of 4. This knight looks very much like Abhimanyu. Yeah, it's trapped and he's won the game. Great. So after knight e1, king d2, knight g2, king e2, oh, it's trapped. It's not much. Alright. So let me just quickly check who is leading. Indian lad is also on 4 par 4. So let's look at that. Khush Jain, Vidit is not playing. Alright, so let's look at the game of SL. Where is SL? The SL is here. Bishop b2, bishop e3. SL is white and I think is very likely to win this game Yeah, two pawns are unstoppable in this position. C5 and then C6. Black had to actually hold a fortress here, but that's not possible with C7. Like put the bishop on D6 and then king on B8. But no, that kind of dark square blockade is not possible. So yes, that's a win. So we come back to this game where Vidit is having slight advantage. It's going rook G3. Rook G2. Okay. Bishop B2 and then knight D6. Rook E2, there is knight C4. I think E5 is necessary here, but he goes EF5. Oh, king E6. Rook D8. But he goes C4. Takes, and then rook D8, rook D7, rook E8. Oh, black has to be careful, yeah? Rook F6. The pawn is gone. Okay, there is no mate here. Rook H5, not really. King G6 can be taken. Yeah, it's too many pawns up. But now not too many, just one. After the C4 is lost, it's just one. Ah, the knight is dropped. Okay, this is easy to convert, yes. You rook behind the passer and it should be good. Rook takes B6. Ah, that's a nice trap. Rook B6, AB6, King C5, B7, C3, B8, and then the queen would go in skiver. It was a well thought trap. Yeah, eventually he will come and take this pawn. Oh, but he can't take the pawn on C3 because that will go into an endgame where white has a wrong color rook pawn. So he has to win with by keeping the rooks on the board. He can't go into an endgame where it's just king bishop pawn versus king pawn. Great. So with this win, he has won. He's now on 5 out of 5, I think. It's a very nice score. So we have like 6 more games, but this is a great conversion. All right. Let's go. So I think we reached 100 likes. Thank you very much. Let's put a target to 200. Yeah, this is converting well. All right. Then who do we have in the list? Hikaru is 4/5. So both Indian lad and Vidit chess, that is SL Aaron and Vidit, both are on 5/5. Vidit is facing Gogieff. I think it's I just forgot to see the name. I think it's Anton Korobov. So we'll come back to Vidit's game shortly. I'm playing against a FIDE master from the US. I think Dulles is Daniel Dubov. I think so. B5. Okay. My opponent can't really go bishop b7 because of knight takes f7. That's the trap I have set. Oh, my opponent is not listening. So king f7, there is queen e6. Both the queen and the rooks, both the pieces are in trouble. Alright. So here Vidit is sticking to Nimzo Indian, and this time he's gone on a traditional way, going d5 and c5 against the Rubinstein variation. Okay, so my opponent has accepted my knight sacrifice. I'll go another check. Okay. I think I can go bishop e6 check, no? Yeah, let's go bishop e5 check. Let's go with all these checks. King in the center. Okay. Now I'm going to play f4 check. Am I playing like Paul Murphy? No. Just that my opponent is just giving me free tempo. F4 check is coming. Okay, I'll give my opponent some time to think. This position. Now queen h7 mate is threatened. Okay, so knight g6 or knight f5. So knight g6. Great. h4. Then black goes f5. I think f5 is necessary because h5 is coming and this knight has to move. I think f5 will come. Indian lad. Queen h4. Let's go. Oh, so my opponent has deliberately prevented me from playing f4 by playing queen h4 and pinning the king, but then I'm going to play f4 anyway. So the next move is f4. f4, my opponent wants to go king d6, rook d1 check, king c6. Okay, also offering me an exchange of queens. How about bishop f4 check, king d4, 000 check, king c5, and then bishop e3 check. Yeah, that would be fun. First, let's give this check. Okay, let's go king d1. Bishop check. Should be mate, no? It's not running and running and running. Okay, great. Alright, so here we have this position where SL is a pawn down but has good chances to hold the position because opponent has double pawns. Vidit has this position where he has now put both the knights on the service of defending the h7 pawn, h7 square I mean. And I think Vidit is off danger here because the danger is over. Queens are exchanged, and in certain positions, I think after the queens are exchanged, these pawns will start to talk. Like h5 pawn is immediately hanging. Black can maybe take this, but Vidit would probably play rook c8, yes, so that he doesn't want a fractured pawn structure here. And then after b4, he will take the pawn on h5. Is what I feel is going to do. Hi, the Hawk. How are you doing? Great to see you again. Hi, Aditya. How are you? Where are you from? Jiran Gaming. Are you here for the first time? Hello, Shreyas. Good to see you. Okay, I think knight e4 is not possible here. If you're playing knight e4, rook d7 was a threat. Yeah, with it is in some pressure here because of this beautiful white pieces. I think bishop into b7 is a shot that could come very soon because then there is c6 and cd7. Oh, that was unnecessary. I don't think that was necessary. Maybe rook b8 he could have done, but rook g3, he wants to keep an eye on the pawns by going behind. Okay, that makes sense. I think Vidit is back in the game because of that exchange sack. White is still pressing, white is still better, but the advantage was huge in that position. Oh, he's playing literally with 1 second on the clock. Oh, this is lost. Anton Krobov wins this game. Was there any chance to hold this endgame? Let's see. Bishop f3. Okay. e5 was not necessary. Okay. f5. What about b6 check? King c8. And what about c6? Oh, this is the point. By playing e5, Vidit opened the line for the bishop to cover the queening square. And by playing f5, he could have stopped that, and then black is still holding on. Now rook d6. And black can't push the pawn on c7 because the b6 is falling. And black can't, and white can't push the pawn because the b6 hangs. And if b7 check, there's just king c7. And this king is cut off, so it cannot travel to a6 so easily. This bishop cannot move from f3. So this is the reason why this position is still very much possible to hold. But it's not easy to see this with just few seconds. Just 1 second on the clock. f5 was the move. And yeah, this is the drawing situation. Just play f5 and don't allow white to look at the c8 square. Okay. Okay, that was difficult because you were SL Naran and lost in this round. So everything was going great for both Vidit and SL, but now they'll have to make a strong comeback. Hi Debru Biswas. I think if you stick around for a while, you will eventually become a moderator. Okay, the next round is up. I am playing against a FIDE master from Russia. I'm going to play Nimzo Indian as well. That is if my opponent allows. So with knight f3 we can no longer hope for a Nimzo, but we can hope for a Bogo. Knight c3. Take this. Okay, Vidit is playing against a Grandmaster Arseny Nesterov. Okay. And SL is playing against Alex Ostrovsky. Or maybe Alex Ostrovskia. Castles. So I think it's a good time to play g5 and establish the bind on the dark squares. Want to get my knight to f4. we are on 146. I think reaching 200 is easy. Hi Anshul, thanks for saying that, and thank you Anshuman for your wishes. Hello Vatsal, long time. How are you doing? And hello Ram Pathak. Okay, so he's giving up a free pawn, but I am not going to take it. I'm going to play h4. ಮ್ಯಾಂಗೋ ನಾವು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಸರಿ ಆಗಲ್ಲ, ಅವ್ರವ್ರಿಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿರುತ್ತೆ ನಾವು ಯಾಕೆ ಹೇಳೋದು. And it's a game, you can't really it's like, in cricket also you see Indian teams sometimes winning and sometimes losing. It's part, I think, and they have their own team, they will definitely check what to do and so on. We as spectators, I think we can enjoy the game, learn from their games. I think that's our role, and that we must play. Knight f5. I want to get rid of this knight, and this one idea I see, I'm going to employ that. Bishop c8, push this knight away, put my knight to b8. What openings am I playing? I wanted to just stick with basics. I also did revise some openings prior to the event. So Nimzo Indian with the black side, e4, e5, white side d4. But in one game I broke the rule and played e4 because my score was not that great. So I just wanted to win. So it's like that. If I want to win quickly, I sometimes play e4. Shashank, where are you from? Why don't I take on d4? Because that would open the position and my king is exposed, and opening the position is the last thing I would want when my position is so open on the king side. That's the reason I did not take the pawn. I hope that makes sense to you. Now I am going to play with my knight, get my knight to g6, and maybe improve my fractured pawn structure if my opponent gives me a chance. Thank you. I think I am slowly heading towards knight g6. My eventual break is f5, which is coming very soon. I'm also threatening h4. Oh, okay. My opponent has seen that after knight f3, I was threatening to play f5, but I'm going to get it anyway. And now I'm keeping an eye on h4 square, so it doesn't trouble me with an h4. Okay, the bishop is finally seeing the light. Can I go h4? I think so. g3. Now that is a move I wasn't expecting. Queen h6 is what my opponent wants to do. I'll go queen e7 and trade the queen of knight g5. Okay. I can't do much about this, yeah. Can I go e4 and knight e5? No, let's go queen f6 first and go rook e7, rook g7. Okay, my opponent is threatening to play bishop e4. There's no choice but to play this move. Can I take this? I don't know Who is offering a draw? Okay, let's go. Want to go queen at 6. Yeah, finally got it. Check. Now going to play rook h8. But that's not going to be enough. Let's go check. Obviously position is pretty bad. Queen f6 is a threat. Very dangerous. Somehow surviving this. Okay, what is my opponent's threat? What a circus. Can't take the pawn. Whew. Queen b8. Wow. That was a scare. Okay. Somehow made it. Alright, what happened in this game? Indian lad is still playing and it's rook bishop versus rook bishop and just a pawn. I think should be ending in a draw. Vidit has won. Great result. So he tried the reti again and yeah, this time it's a different kind of reti. We can't really call this the main reti, but it's a flavor. Yeah, I won a. I think I lost a very bad game in this with the black side in this opening. It's not so easy to face this one. I think I lost to Visak or Vignesh, one of the brothers. Yeah, very technical win. He won because of this double pawns. I think it would be great to see Hikar versus Vidit tonight. We might see it. Wow. And then these 3 pawns are like too many weaknesses. Yeah, this game over. In bishop c6 there is e4 coming and eventually the pawn is going to fall. Okay, so this game is still going on. Oh my god, f1 queen? What's happening? f1 queen? Nobody wants to play f1 queen. King g3, f1 queen. Okay, so Alex Ostrovsky from United States, he has won this game. Okay, I'm now playing against Pavel Skachkov. I'm going to go d4. Vidit is playing Alexur 1981. Senthil Baran and Anand Garg, they're playing against each other. Let's go the Nimzo way. I'm going to go bishop d2 in the Nimzo. Get the knight to d2, bishop to d3, castles. Wants to go e5, go rook c1. Bishop e6. Let's go bishop e2, queen c2. Seems like I'm in trouble already. Knight e4. And knight e4, there is bishop e4, bishop c3. So rook d2. I don't know what I'm going to do against rook d2. That went quite quickly. f4, rook c2. That's game over, I think. Okay. Where to see the standings? I think you can just click on the game. There you can see in the Title Tuesday section. Very happy for Arjun. Yeah, he's doing great. So we'll be seeing him on live stream very soon. So once the event is over, I think we will definitely get him online. Then it will be interesting to hear about how he prepared and what was going on in his mind during all these games. Alright, here we see Vidit employing the Sicilian. His opponent going for a closed system against the Sicilian. f3. If the knight moves, maybe queen a6 is going to come and it's going to capture this, and when the queens are traded off, rook b2 is going. Still very much happening. It's not so clear. a5 now, I think. Alright, here we see Ojeswa, who's on 3 and is playing against Sergei Staika. Okay. He's a piece down. Yeah, he's about to lose this one. And we have Srishti Pandey playing against FIDE master Plotnikov Pavel. Position bishop p6. But she goes for a better move. Yeah, I think knight f4 is a better one. Keeping an eye on both d5 and e6. Bishop f2 is also going to come very soon. And that's the rule. Usually you need 3 pieces to conduct a successful attack. That's a minimum requirement for an attack. But sometimes 3 plus 1, depending on the position. So if you have ambitions of going for an attack, make sure you at least have 3 pieces with you. And here I see those 3 pieces. The fourth one is the rook on f8, which could indirectly participate if there are some sacrifices in the air. Alright. When we have Mrudul, she is playing against a woman international master from Brazil. Seems like it's a King's Indian that's gone wrong, because black doesn't have an immediate way to conduct some attack. Queen g3 is simply met by queen f1, and then that's the end of threat, the end of story. So now she's tried to play bishop s3, queen g3, but I think just a queen can defend it. It's not so easy. Yeah, white is better here. Then we have Sahil, who is playing against a FIDE master. He has scored 2 points so far. And he doesn't have a rook, but he has a minor piece in return. Not sure if the queen exchange is possible here. Because if you exchange queens, The compensation is not visible. Can I play king f1 and just take this knight? Because this is another case of the knight being trapped. I don't know. But now king f1, knight d3 is there. There is knight d3. It's not easy to trap this knight then. Bishop a5. So he's trying to push that queen away. But the queen will come to d7 and I am not sure now. Queen h3 could be dangerous. What happened in Vidit's game? Vidit is 5r6. We have Vidit's game here. Vidit is having a very good position. This beautiful bishop and a square on d4. Any piece could occupy the square on d4. No questions asked. You cannot push that piece away. If you look at the pawns, you will see that Vidit is already a pawn up. So I have a strong feeling that this will be a win for Vidit. He will also go with h5, h4 soon. He has to keep an eye on rook b7 kind of ideas. But yeah, he's won a second pawn. And I think he might even be looking to exchange the rooks. So if you look at the standings there, 6.5 per 7 is the leader. And after this game, I think we're going to see a break. Gukesh performance ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ರಿ. No, I haven't seen much of Gukesh games to be honest. But I can't really speak about it. So I have not seen his games. What happened today at Meltwater? I think we will be releasing a report tomorrow, so you will read about it. Hi Saptarshi and Rishabh. Yes, you are right. He's on 6 per 7 and he's playing this game and he's about to win this one. Bishop d4, very much in control. I'm not sure about the exchange of queens because there might be a scenario in which white could blockade both the pawns. Yeah, this is lost. Now the pawn is too far. Vidit is going to win this one. He can't take this pawn because of 8-2. Yeah. Great. So Vidit moves on to 7 out of 8 with this win. Great going for Vidit. And here we see Samarth Rao's game. Samarth has scored 3 points. Yeah, 97 of you watching. Hello to all of you. To all those who have just joined. This is Title Tuesday and we have finished 8 rounds. Vidit is on 6 out of 7. Now he's on 7 out of 8. He won his round just now. And apart from Vidit, we have NR Visak on 6 out of 8. And yeah, that's the list I have. So far we see Aradhya Garg on 5.5 out of 8. SL Narayanan is on 5 per 8. We have Sai Nirupama on 5 bar 8. Senthil Maran is on 4.5. Oh, who is this? It's a new guy. Knock 2004. Probably born in the year 2004. We'll have to check who that player is. KCNOCK 2004. Now there is a 6 minute break. Okay. Please remain in live chess, all those who are playing. Yeah, Vidit might be playing Hikaru. That's what I feel. Alright, so that was just a quick visit to all the players and standings and present position. Alright, within the 7 bar 8, there are totally 7 players, and even one of our staff members from chess.com, Krikor, is here. He is on 7 out of 8. So totally, I think 5, 4, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of them are playing with 7 bar 8. It's going to be exciting. 3 more rounds to go. Oh, Shashank, I haven't followed today's event. Yeah, I'm not sure about that. What is Vidit's rank? Vidit is number 3 at the moment. I don't see Mitrabha's name in the list. Can we see world champion from India? Who has better chances? It's a difficult question to answer, but it's a good question to have because we have so many players who are world championship prospects. Like they could play for, they could get into the match for the world title. Yes, that result I am sure. I know. 11 versus Arjun. I saw some games. They were very close. Yeah, Pushkar, yes, I think that could be. I think we are all waiting for that game, Vidit versus Hikaru. Okay. I think Anish will probably make a comeback. Losing 3-0 is okay, I think he will make a comeback. We have Junior Speed Chess Championship coming up very soon, and also Harika will be playing semi-finals. So you have pretty exciting broadcasts coming soon. So Alexander Botnik, Grishchuk, yeah, tough players. So today we put a very interesting question on social media. Which movie title should be a chess theme? And we got some very interesting answers. And I also put out a tweet with a retweet. Like I retweeted it with a quote, and not sure how many of you will agree with this, but I feel if we have to include some movie titles, then I think we could replace an unsuccessful king hunt with Dawn Hunt, because you can never catch Dawn. And let's say if there are two knights next to each other and they are really doing well, you will see that more often in the games of Vichy Sir. We can call them the Judwa Knights. And let's say if there is a tactical combination in which the opponent has no idea what's happening and you go into a jungle where 2 plus 2 is 5, then we can call it the Dhoom theme. And yeah, so those were some of the movie titles that I came up with. Do let me know if you have your own titles. Thank you, Anshuman, that's very kind of you. Next stars, I think we have a lot because every youngster is training hard in that way, because they also have a lot of time. They're also playing online events. So in addition to Arjun, Gukesh, Nihal and Raunak, I think will be some more. You can maybe look at the standings of the national events which took place recently, maybe in under 14, under 12 category. You can already spot some stars there. Artimev is very tricky, I agree. Shreyas, you are perfect. Yes, I mean you're right. Harika is playing Katrina Lagno. Alright, the games have begun. Oh, where is it? Vidit is playing against Chess Lover 0108. Let's go Budapest. My opponent is playing some really weird chess. I'm also going with something pretty weird. Going with my rook to h6. Knight f4. Okay, let's go rook h6. I'm telling my opponent not to castle because I already have a rook on h6. It's a rare scenario. I'll just retain my bishop, not giving it so easily. Okay, so here we have with this game. Queen c2, let's go d6. It's a Ragozin, and that's an opening that he plays quite often. He might also use this in World Cup, I think. King f1, it's like he wants to castle, but he doesn't want to castle. I can relate to that. Okay, now his eyes are on this rook. Let's first get rid of this knight. If he takes this rook, I will take knight first. That's the point. Yeah, Anish has to win on Riemann, you are right. Samay's favorite, is it? Yes, Ayushi, you are right. Vidit is really doing well. Let's hope that he wins. Chess Lover 0108. That's the name of his opponent. Threatening this. So that's an exchange sacrifice. Not really needed, but I wanted to go with it. I can go bishop d3, f3. I want to go knight f3. Bishop d3, knight f3, bishop d3, g f3, queen f3, bishop d3, queen d3, queen e2, queen h3. Not much is happening there. Knight f3, gf3. Okay, let's go this way. Alright, so Vidit is having this position again. You can see queen and bishop lined up. What my opponent did. Okay, let's take this pawn. Here SL is playing against Suman Grandmaster Atosa. Should be good for him. So I think we'll keep an eye on Vidit's game because he's the one player who is on the very top right now. Bishop g2 is a possibility, but I'll go bishop b3 first. Okay. Vidit is having a lot of time compared to his opponent. You can see that he has almost a minute more, almost. G3, I like that move. I want him to play such moves. I think I will get F5 very soon, and then E4, Rook C2. My pieces are attacked. I don't like that. Queen E6, he might play B3. Oh, this is not easy. How am I going to support it? This seems forced, unfortunately. F5, Rook C4. Bishop D5, Rook C5. Bishop B3, Rook C5, F5. Okay. Okay, some chance, not much. Okay, let's take this rook first. And then push this pawn. Pin. Okay. Threatening Queen F2. Rook F5. Let's go check. Let's go another check. Okay. He's not really scared, huh? Okay, there I go. I win the queen. Oh, I win the queen, but this is a draw, is it? Can't do anything about it. That was a great find by my opponent. I can't play king h6 because of a mate. The reason I can't do it is because of this unfortunate mate on h7. Alright, so what happened in Vidit's game? Vidit has won the game. That's great. So he is now, I think, on 8/9. So let's see, how did he win this game? I think we were at one moment talking about this queen and bishop battery. He captured the pawn, captured another pawn, and then bravely went on to play g5. Okay, I think again this threat is an issue, but he just got his knight to f8 and is taking care of h7. Okay. A4. If you take this pawn, bishop is hanging, so you can't take it. Oh, the opponent took. Rook f3. Nice defense. But actually, there's nothing threatened, right? Maybe this was a threat, but black could maybe. Oh, this was a force move. This is the only move left, and then he picked up the rook as well. Amazing. So you must keep an eye on unprotected pieces, friends. Look at this rook. It looks as if nobody is attacking it, but just two moves and you see that b7 rook is gone. Alright, this is the ongoing game between SL and Atosa, and this is likely to end in a draw. So we'll keep an eye on this one. How to apply it to be a mod. I think you just be here for a while, and if you are a regular subscriber, I think the team will decide. And you can also follow us on Discord and put a request there. I think on Discord there could be a form, I'm not aware of the specifics, but that's how some of them became moderators. Okay, we are close to 200. Yes, we are 185. Do like the stream, and I think we'll be reaching to 200 very soon. Yeah, so let's draw. Next game. I'm playing against Kainov. Vidit is playing against who? Krishchuk. Vidit is playing against Krishchuk. It's going to be King's Indian. Here I am playing Catalan. And Vidit is playing Catalan. No, Vidit is playing against the King's Indian. It's Fiancello King's Indian. And Vidit did play this play against the King's Indian, I think. Adiban tried the King's Indian against Vidit recently. B5. Bishop a6, I'll go rook e1. Okay. So these rooks usually come to e1 and d1, and white slowly starts playing a3 b4, or sometimes plays knight d b5 or knight c b5, and then gives up a rook for two pieces sometimes. And sometimes white goes for this king side expansion. Both the possibilities exist. I'm going to put my knight to c5 if possible, put the bishop to d2, rook to c1. Okay, so my one knight has come here and one is on e5. Going good so far. d6 is hanging, bishop d4. Let's go back. Now we're going to attack this knight and ask where it wants to go, and then take this bishop. That's my plan. So knight c2, bishop f8, there is bishop f4, knight a5. So he's saying he wants to attack my queen first. Now the bishop is hanging. Okay, maybe I gave too many pawns already. Looks like that. Attacking this. Oh, queen d1 is winning. Queen d1 and then c2. Okay, so that's why bishops have been exchanged. h4, h5 is coming, yes. I think white is better here. Rook e5, rook h5 is also a possibility, but it's not so serious. I think he can simply go b4 and then f4. Yeah, he goes for queen d1, great. So rook e1, he wants to play rook d1, is it? Okay. Am I surviving this? God knows. It's like 2 pieces for a rook. No, 2 pieces for 2 rooks. What am I saying? Okay, he wants to keep playing. Can't go bishop d3 is what my opponent is telling me. You can't do that. Okay, this is gone. 2 pieces are attacked simultaneously. Alright, here we see fg6, dangerous threat, f6, equally dangerous. I think there are like 5 different good moves in the position. Even knight g4 is possible. You will definitely take this. Rook takes e4. Because knight is coming to g5, pawn is going to g6. Amazing position for Vidit. Is now on 8. So I think we should make a tweet about it immediately. Hold on. We won! Wow, great. Amazing. This was great. I think we'll have to watch this again. So he's like 9 out of 10 and there's just 1 round left, right? Yeah, so we also with that got 200 likes. Thank you very much. So Hikaru Nakamura is still playing. Okay, let's quickly look at his game. What's happening in Hikaru's game? Oh, but where is Hikaru? Might be. I think the final could be Hikaru versus Vidit. You never know. Or maybe Hikaru lost. So Vidi will play against Botnik, Alexander Botnik. So they both are on 9/10. So I think this last match will be very exciting. Oh, okay. So let's look at Vidit's game until the next games begin. So all this is fine. He got his rook to d1. I thought he's going to get rook to e1, but before that he first played knight c2, attacking the pawn on d6, and then after knight d7 he did not take the pawn on d6 because after queen d6, rook d6, maybe he was concerned about knight e5. And then if you go b3, there is knight takes c4. Oh, it's not much time to do that. Alright, so Vidit is playing against Alexander Botnik. Sicilian Alapin? Yeah, it's Alapin. You are right. So I was right about Sicilian Alapin, and the thing is, it's a line that Vidit has played before as well. So usually, if you want to like study IQP, I think Sicilian 11 is a good opening because you will get a lot of positions in which you will have IQP. By IQP, I mean that the pawn on d4 is isolated; it is not supported by any neighboring pawn. And we might see another queen bishop battery in this game. Like this queen could come here, this bishop could come to c2, and again a lot of pressure there. 6. The bishop on c8 was hanging for a moment and goes bishop a6. I think he will take this bishop and play queen a6. No, we can't do that. Knight b5 was coming. Now I'll go c5. Rook d8. No, he goes for bishop takes c3 first. Okay. I think queen will come to e7, but yeah, I need to do something about this. c6 first and then maybe queen e7. h4. Okay, let's go h6. Now he's ready to take on e5. Knight d7, knight d7, c4 might come. And this rook might come to c8, and now these two pawns can be considered as hanging pawns. It's no longer IQP in this position. Yeah, and then now rook c8, rook d8. Queen will come maybe to a6 and pin this. Here's a pleasant position. Knight d6. Okay, let's go rook d8. c4. Can I go knight b4? Can I go f5? I think I will go f5. Oh, but maybe it's not the best move. ef6 en passant. So Vidit has captured the pawn on a2. Maybe we go a5, a4. Queen c2. Knight b4. We'll go queen b3. I think it's safe to say I'm going to take this next move. First go g5. This knight has had a long journey. Just protecting this. Okay, let me take this. Okay, I think bishop h7. or bishop f5. In any case, bishop g8. Let's go this way. Uh-huh. Oh, this is bad. This is a tragedy. Okay. Alright, so let's look at this game, which is the only one in focus. I think Vidit is likely to convert this. Is a pawn up. Just has to take care of the pawn on d6. He has more time than his opponent and is very likely to hold, like, get a point here. Goes for queen e2. Oh, not sure. I think he could have defended this better, but now rook c7 is a threat. d7 could also come next. Yeah, so he has prevented any kinds of d7. And now f7 has to be protected. But if he goes king g8, there is bishop h6. Oh, there is queen takes queen. So he can't go bishop h6. So you simply take this pawn and then rook e6, and you can maybe put pressure on this one. But maybe he missed d7. Now just check and then take the pawn. It's at least a draw, I think. Oh, they're going to play this. Knight c4. Objectively, this should be a draw, but yeah, both sides are going to play this out. Yeah, just I think it should be ending in a draw. This is the only trap I see in the position, like getting mated on h8. And you should not go rook c3 for any kinds of checks here. Just rook c7 should be also enough. So it's going to give a check like this, maybe. If the king is going too far, then it will be difficult to protect the pawn on f7. Wow, so they drive by 50 moves without captures. So let's look at the final standings. Right now Vidit is leading, I think, with the book holes or whatever the tiebreak is. But let's see, I think he should be the favorable candidate to win. I think he has everything in his favor right now. So it will be great if we can get him on stream. So we'll ask him if he is willing to be on the stream. So I've just sent a message to Vidit. Let's see. Great. So So yeah, Vidit Gujrathi winning, and both all the three players have got 9.5 per 11, but Vidit has clinched this title Tuesday. So let's see if we can bring him. Yeah, Vidit OP should be in the chat. I've sent a message. Let's see. I think this is it his first title Tuesday victory? I don't know. Rakesh knows all the statistics, but I am not the best person. Yeah, I have sent a message to him, Mr. Franklin, but I don't know whether he would reply. Okay. So I'll just wait for a few moments before closing the stream. I see his tweet, but maybe he hasn't seen mine. So Vidit has just tweeted that he won the title Tuesday. So I'll just wait for a few moments and then maybe we could look at some of his games. Oh, is this his second title Tuesday win? Okay, I'm not sure. But definitely this is big. Winning title Tuesday is not easy. Pushkar, I don't know. I have sent a message to him on Twitter. So I'll just wait for some time. If there's no reply, then I will wrap up the stream. Okay. So I think I'll just personally take a look at his games. I think then I will just wrap up. So for those who would be seeing the highlights later, it would be great. So I'll just visit some of his games and we'll see what were some good wins. Okay. So I think his win against Grishchuk, we really looked at it. So okay. So I think we'll start with this one. I'm just going to check if everything is okay on OBS. Yeah, I think now it's okay. Alright, so this is his game against I think this was his first round where he employed the fianchetto version, and it's not the first time we are seeing him play this. He has played this before. Okay, and then his opponent took on f3, but there is rook f3 since the queen is attacked. So this was where he got his first real win. And this is the first round he got his first win here. That's about it. Then let's look at the next one. So how was the next game? Okay. I'm just trying to get his other games. Okay, so that was his win against a FIDE master, and then he played against Piotr. Did we look at this one? Here he was black. I only looked at the final position in this during the stream, and yeah, e5 because white is not playing d3. So Vidit has reached this position with both colors in this tournament. They play h6 to avoid ng5, sometimes bg5. Okay, g5. Knight g6. You're welcome, Vikram Aditya. Time to change the pin tweet. Ah, you're right. So let's make a new tweet. Vidit wins with 9.5 bar 11. So that's the pin tweet, the pin message. Yeah. All right. Wow, these pawns are great. Yeah, he got it very quickly. In this position, looks like nothing is happening, just that these pawns are really well placed. But after rook f1, he plays bishop h3, and just in a matter of 2 moves, it's all going haywire. King f2, there is fg3 and f3. The queen is hanging, but after fg3, it's a check, so the queen cannot be taken, and black wins. Great. So this was the second round. And the third round was where Vidit was playing against Alexandra Koschinwik. I did see this pairing, but we did not go in detail during the stream. He played a3. Now, white could also play cd5 and dc5. They play a3 because white's idea is to take d takes c5, and after bishop c5, white goes b4. Oops, yeah, this is the idea. But here, Alexander Koschinwik played a6, and after dc5, Vidit goes for b4 and bishop b2 and queen c2. Yes, I remember that during the stream I stopped here and I saw that Vidit had not castled, and he goes for knight g5. Now the idea of knight g5 is pretty simple. If you play a move like rook b8, that is knight d5, and you can't take the knight as h7 is hanging, and let's say you play something like queen d8, then there is knight check followed by mate on h7. So because of these reasons, knight g5 is very good, but his opponent immediately saw and then played g6, and now wants to go bishop to f5. Now Vidit found time to castle, and I think a lot of pieces came off, and as a result he won a pawn, and I think that was enough for him to convert. Yeah, seems like that. So let's look a few moves ahead. He had exchanged the bishops, and he's a pawn up, that helps. And I think this pawn on h7 is also can be considered as a weakness in the long run. Yeah. So winning that e5 pawn here was important in this position. After rook d8, he played knight e4, and then after knight d5, this is called an intermediate move and also a nice way to attack. when your opponent is attacking your queen, first see if you can attack your opponent's queen, and then he won the game. So that winning that pawn on e5 was crucial in this one. Alright, then the next game was his win against the big boss, 0-4. I think I took a look at this game. Yeah, I did take a look at this one. And I mentioned how these both knights were in danger. So in a way, this game could be considered as a swindle. Then Sanan Sujiro, we did take a look at that one. For those of you who are just joining, I'll just give you a brief overview of what happened in Sanan Sujiro versus Vidit. Vidit employed the reti and then got a double bishop advantage in the opening. In this position after knight e4, knight f5, he took this and played bishop d2. Like once this e7 bishop was out, then I was talking about a possible pawn break, and you have d4 and f4, two pawn breaks. Ultimately, Vidit decided to go for the f4 pawn break in this game, and it was all going good. But at one point, he allowed the exchange of bishops, which is what I think ruined his advantage. This moment, I would have definitely gone for a5, knight d5 and then bishop d2. But he played b3, and after bishop d5 the advantage is not big enough is what I felt. And then he just maneuvered his pieces and put his pawn on h5 and attacked on the king side. So if you go after a few moves, you see that he had this amazing position. But black got this f5 pawn break, and that neutralized the pressure to a degree. Yeah, you see f5, and after that again it was not so easy. But then later Vidit outplayed his opponent in this endgame, and he got this g6 pawn, he got this b7 pawn, and at one point we reached a stage where he could not really capture the rook because like this king came to d4. He could not take this pawn because they would go into a king and bishop pawn versus king, which is not winning as the bishop is not of the color of the bishop. I mean this pawn on a8, we are having a wrong color bishop. So if we had a light square bishop, it's a win. But in this scenario you can't, so Vidit did not exchange the rooks and eventually managed to take the pawn and then win. So that was his game against Sanan. Then I think the next game was against Korobov, and Korobov was very difficult. Korobov put a lot of pressure in the beginning, and this queen bishop battery and then h4 h5. But at one point after rook c8, I think everything was fine. Like until here, after the queens are off, he was no longer in that kind of danger anymore. But then he started to coordinate his pieces on the second rank, but that did not help him. Eventually his opponent crashed in with knight d7, and then this was unnecessary. I thought maybe king f2, slowly a4, maybe bishop b7 tricks. But then after rook d7, the game was suddenly open and we still had chance to hold, and I indicated a drawing continuation here during the stream that in this position after bishop f3, if Vidit had played f5 instead of e5, draw would have been easy, but he did not. And because f5 blocks the queening square, and after b6 is king c8, and after c6 rook d6, both these pawns cannot be moved. If you play b7, king c7, if you play c7, pawn hangs, this king has no way of coming, and this bishop cannot change its diagonal because c6 is hanging. So this was one way you could have held a draw. Then we saw him winning all the remaining games and drawing the last one. So let's take a quick look at this game of Arseny versus Vidit. This was a very instructive game. I don't think Vidit gave even a little bit of chance, was completely outplayed his opponent. Yeah, I think this is a bind. It's very difficult to explain, but being black, I understand that it's not so easy. I have lost a similar game with the black side, and here after queen e5, this knight comes to d4, which is very annoying. This bishop cannot go anywhere because then the pawn on d5 is lost. So black had to compromise with these double pawns, and later you see with it converting that very well. It's like first he saw this is a weakness, and then it's important to create a second weakness. I think Vidit does that. So he creates another weakness through some provoking moves. Now you see these pawns are on the light squares, and since this pawn is on d5, he will eventually put this bishop on b3 and win. That's a winning plan, to put this bishop on b3. Yeah, and then black cannot keep protecting the pawn because of e4 break, and this is winning. Alright, and then after this we have Alex Sur 1981. And this was a close Sicilian. I don't remember the critical position in this game, so let's go through it. Yeah, I think this was the beginning. Knight a4, white like gave this pawn. I think c4 is what they usually play, but his opponent played knight b6 and knight c8. You can't. I thought maybe rook into b2 was possible, but he first played like after d5. I thought now black's idea is rook into b2. So if white takes, queen takes a6, queen takes a6, bishop a6, rook b2 is happening, and that's the reason his opponent first played f3 and then played b3. The reason why the computer likes black in this position is because of two central pawns, and white doesn't have a central pawn. So this can be considered as a compensation in return for two bishops, but also important to note that black is a pawn up. So he just defends this, castles, rook a8, takes knight f5, rook d8. All these moves came very effortlessly to Vidit. And once he's a pawn up and once he has a strong hold on d4, the win was like comparatively much easy, I think. He later went on to exchange queens. His opponent did not give up so easily, but later he won all the pawns, and we had this position in which even though white wants to take on h7, he can't take because of this a2 pawn. So it looked like the win was not easy, but he played really well in the opening, and that gave him an initial edge. Then this game with Chess Lover, I think I covered this. I talked about the hanging rook on b7 and how it was evident. And the final game, of course, we watched it live, most of it. He played against Alexander Botnik. And I already covered his win against Krishchuk during the stream. This was an Alapin. For those of you who want to try something interesting against it, I think knight f6 is also possible. But yes, queen d5, and this is also a system that's very much possible. I've been seeing Vidit play this system like for a really long time. I think the first time I saw him play this was somewhere in 2005. There was one player called Pranav Shetty, and he used to employ the Alapin, and I've seen a game similar to that. Vidit employed this against Pranav, I think. Okay, so once we have hanging pawns, it's a matter of controlling them, and there is a chance that white could create a passer, and the d pawn passer is especially dangerous in such positions, open positions, and blockading is necessary. But Vidit went on to capture the pawn on a2, and then he was relying on this fact that the d7 knight is going to take care of the pawn. There were a lot of ups and downs in this game. Like at one moment, Vidit was really in danger. For example, in this position, knight e4, d7 is very much in white's favor. If you take this queen, there is he takes e8 queen, and then the knight could be taken. But his opponent missed it, and then we got a position in which both sides like they're going to end the game in a draw. It's not easy to say that black is going to win or white is going to win, but there was one chance. After king g2, there was knight c4, which could have given him probably a pawn, because rook a3 is not possible, rook e5 of course not, He could have won a pawn, but I think this position is theoretically a drawn endgame. So with this, Vidit went on to win the title Tuesday. So yes, he only lost to Korobov, and the rest of the games he won, and the last drew. Unfortunately, I haven't received any message reply from Vidit, so he will probably be tired and will be resting after winning the title Tuesday. Alright, I think it's time for me to also sleep. With that, I can call this an end. Maybe I can take a couple of questions before ending the stream. No, Akansha, Vidit is probably not joining. Good night, Shashank. I just saw all the messages. Vikramaditya, hi. Not sure about that. Yes, probably $750. Yeah, we did one Gopi Krishnan. Alright. Yeah, let him rest. Okay. So Vidit is here in the chat. You're welcome, Vidit. Congrats for winning the games. And for winning the event. Okay. So guys, time for me to rest now, and I'll be back again with another stream, another video. And yeah, Vidit is in the chat. Do congratulate him. So I will leave this for a while and play the commercials. Take care all of you. Stay safe. Good night.